Okay, so I'm out in the garden today and I'm a little overwhelmed. I have to get this bed under control. This is my squash bed and it has been, but we've had really wet weather and then it turned warm and all these weeds just went crazy overnight. So I gotta get all of those out, put compost on here, and get my pumpkins and squash planted. And I want to try to do that today because it's just gonna get hotter and hotter. Also, I put onions in here and potatoes, and I thought the piglets came in here at night and dug up all the potatoes, but they just got a few, so there's more coming up. And now I don't want them here because I need all the room for squash, but I think maybe under the trees back there I'll just put pumpkin hills to make up for it, and just put my best squash in here. That sunshine hybrid squash, my favorite. And then on the trellis here, I gotta finish that, and that I'll have cucumbers going up that. So that's the plan today, and hopefully I get it done. So I just fed all the weeds that I took out of there to the pigs. I don't want to put those in the compost pile because if they're perennial weeds, the roots could sprout and make more weeds even in the compost if it's not hot enough. And that seriously took me about 15 minutes and I was whining for nothing. Well, my gardening got interrupted for moving the linear over. So me and Poodle are waiting for the phone call to turn it on and move it. And they're cutting this field today, and it's looking really good. Okay, we're back from the field, and I'm going to turn the irrigation on tonight so it can get my garden, but it's also going to get this pen that the goats are going to go in. So really fast, we mixed up a mixture of seeds that we're going to use in here, and we had some alfalfa seed, which is the purple stuff, it's coated. And then I mixed greenings that we feed the pigs. And then some grass seed that we had left. And I just mixed it all in here. And I'm going to throw it by hand in there and then probably drag it. Or just kind of go over it with a rake, I don't really know. So, and then it'll get watered in tonight. Marigold thinks it's time to eat. Alright, so I got the whole thing planted just by hand broadcasting it all and then dragging it a little bit. So hopefully we get at least some forage in here. There's a little bit of everything and we don't really care what comes up. Just as long as it's not just plain dirt. Now I finally get to go back to my squash patch, but the tractor's being used for something else, so it's still going to be a long day. Okay, I got most of my squash bed finished. I have these potatoes in there and they're starting to come up right here. And so what I'm going to do is take this mound that's already hilled up and cover them with that, and then put the compost on top. And then the potatoes will finally get through that eventually, and after they flower, when they're all finished, then I'll harvest them. Okay, so I'm all finished with this bed. Just so if you've never grown squash before, on the seed packet it will say to make a hill and then put the seeds in the hill. But if you live in a hot, dry area, or anywhere hot, it's better to make a bowl shape. I don't know if you can see my bowl, but make a bowl shape and then plant your seeds in there. And I think it's probably better to put your seeds in first with not like growing seedlings. But I just did that because of the chickens and the straw. So I've been debating whether to put straw over this whole thing because I like the way it looks with compost, but if I don't put straw, it's gonna dry out and be a pain in the butt to keep wet. and the weeds are gonna come up, so I'd rather cover it with what I want than have the nature cover it with weeds. I also was going to put the cucumbers in my squash bed, but I only had 3 decent ones, and so I planted them here instead, and then they can grow up my gazebo, and I planted them on the side because they'll get the most sun. Okay, I'm getting ready to go in for the day. I got this bed planted. It's tomatoes, all purple varieties, like black crim, indigo rose, things like that. And then eggplant, purple tomatillos, and some different peppers. And I still have room down at the end for some more peppers. And then I also, in the very back there, I got 17 pumpkins planted. They're the light green ones, or the bluish green ones, white ones, and orange ones. And I got a whole bunch of my perennial bed planted with some different perennials. And so I'm just waiting for things to grow now.